Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Stitch Circle. I'm your host, YesMichelle, aka Michelle. Hi Sherry. Glad to have you all here with me today as you enter the chat and enter our circle. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, double check your subscription, and make sure you're subscribed. Because yes, I've been on vacation for a minute, so we're just getting back into the groove of things. And forgive my laughter. I happen to glance over at the chat. I don't often get to see it on the same screen that I'm looking at you at. But Sherry just shared with us that she has started another emotional support chicken. How many are you up to now, darling? Hey, Nisi, good morning. And yes, you are always on time when you enter the chat, my friend. So glad to have you. Big hugs to you, Erica. Welcome in and thank you for being here. And guys, thank you for greeting each other. This indeed is a Stitch Circle where it's not just about me, it's about our community. Now, of course, my rules apply as they do with everything I do. We will not be doing any self promotion. We will not talk about politics and we will not talk about religion. And today, we will not talk about vacation because I miss it. Honestly, because I miss it. So I'm checking the double. I always have to double check the chat here because at one point it literally freezes on the screen and then I don't know what's going on. And Cherry said, counting the red, white, and blue one, this is five. Honey, you are a beast with those emotional support chickens. I love it. I absolutely love it. I, of course, have coffee on deck. I have my water bottle set, and I need to add a little something to that water, but I can do that later. That's all later. Of course, I have our clipboard and our questions. And I do that for those of you who are not familiar with this format with me. I like to have questions just to kind of have a conversation with you guys about things you think, things you like or maybe don't like, and mostly just to pick your brain and get new ideas. The other day I was filming a video, and as I was doing so, I'm also seeing me in a little bit of a lag, and it's like, did what? But I get it. I know. Anyway, as I was saying, I was filming a video, and as I was sitting there filming that video, I had all these other thoughts going on in my mind, and I'm like, this almost feels like Ferris Bueller. My teleprompter is giving me words that I need to say, and I need to say them in a way that makes sense and relates to the audience that's going to see it in the future. Meanwhile, my brain's going Bueller, Bueller, because all I want to think about are other things that have nothing to do with that video. It's not a heavy video. It's just that I was distracted. And I wonder how many of you guys experience that where you feel like you're really just kind of going through the motions of things rather than being dedicated and mentally committed to the task at hand. Share that with me. Nisi said, I needed a vacation from our vacation when I got back. That would be me. And hey, Kim A, welcome in. I am also in extreme desperate need of my coffee this morning. My room is a little bit darker than it usually is. And some of that is because I'm fighting a little bit of a headache. Nothing major. But it has been a super busy week. And I don't know where I'm coming or going from right now, but I've got my cap on because as soon as we finish this live, I've got to head out the door and drop some papers off for a presentation that I'm going to be doing in about 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. So I think it's August 1st. So that is a heads up to you guys that we will not have Stitch Circle. I am not going to compete with my own darn music. Slow down. I didn't realize that was triggering me. I like my music. In fact, I love my music. But what I don't love is when I feel like I'm elevating my voice to speak louder than the music that I'm choosing to play. So I hope that this is better for you. You will also hear a fan in the background because, yeah, it's hot. It's hot. And I know like it. I love warm weather. I don't love it being so hot that it becomes challenging to breathe. So I'm going to encourage you to grab your cups, make sure that they're full and ready to go because we're going to be here about hopefully 2 hours. And I'm so excited to get to hang out with you guys. I have missed you all. But we will also have our trivia questions, and some of them may make you want to take a sip because I haven't read these questions. I worked with my AI system in order to create original questions, and that's one of the cool things about the AI systems. And I know there are different people who have different views of whether AI is necessary or not necessary, but let me be honest with you. I run a full-time daycare. I have this channel, which, by the way, will be 2 years old of my first face forward video tomorrow. And I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly trying to improve. Good morning, sugar. Good morning. So please, by all means, make yourself comfortable in the penthouse, as it were. But with all the things that I do, the only way I can be present in the places and spaces that I'm supposed to be in is to use the tools that are available to me, including AI. Now, would I tell AI to go write me a pattern? Heck no. Heck no. I don't trust it for that. I believe there needs to be human creativity. But asking you what movie evokes the saddest moment in your life, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to think that way. I don't want to think about the sad things, but AI might. Or AI might ask you, what's your favorite additive to coffee? I'm not going to think about that because, again, me, coffee, it's a personal thing. This is a whole pound of work right here. And believe you me, at 8:15, when I was just starting this coffee, I was a little bit scared. Thank you for the anniversary. Thank you for the anniversary update. Yes, yes, yes. We are almost 2. We'll be 2 tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. And I am learning reluctantly, but I am learning how to use this restream system a little bit better. I don't know how it shows up. In fact, you see a box that is like right here. Okay, am I backwards? I might be backwards. If I'm backwards, it's right where the restream signal would be. And the box is white. And the reason that the box is white is because I have a widget that's supposed to show you. Let me click it. Let me get rid of it because I don't want it. And that's that. That just made me bigger. That did not help me at all. Bloop. Let's see if that helped. Stop that. Getting to see Michelle be silly in real time. Isn't this fun for us all? I hope so. Freedom, freedom. At least it's freedom for me. I don't know if it's freedom for us. We'll see. Nonetheless, the widget, if you can click it, and I don't encourage you to because I don't know what it's doing, is the presentation of my Buy Me a Coffee account. It's supposed to allow us to not have to discuss it and just have it available so that you don't have to ask me for that information. But what I am going to do, because I'm me, is I'm going to add it as a pinned comment in our chat so that if you're interested in supporting the channel in a low-key, easy way, then by all means, leave me a beautiful message and buy me a coffee because your girl's going to have her coffee and I'd love to share one with you. So give me seconds as you see me diverting down. Yes, This happens on my phone. But it's been, what a week. What a week. I have things I haven't answered and things I should have answered. You guys ever let your mail pile up too much? Now imagine virtual mail. I have messages I have not answered since before I left, like July 4th. And I don't try to let things get that far behind, but sometimes, honestly, the world gets ahead of you. And that's what has happened. So it is what it is. I still love me. There we go. I've copied to clipboard and I'm making that big again. Jumping in the chat. Hi. Excuse me for just a second as I type. You would think I would have been smart enough to set this up before, but honestly, coffee needed to be made. And there you go. So, what has everybody been up to? What have you been working on? What have you completed? I would love to know while I was away. What projects kept you all busy and inspired? And is there anything I need to be hooking into that I've ignored? Because, yes, I want to know. And oh my goodness, yes, I'm jumping all over the place. Is that new to you? No. Mm, this coffee is so, so good. But anyway, this Monday's video, I am so, so, so excited for. I had so much fun with it because I'm talking about heirloom luxury. Oh, this is my bouginess in its natural state. So I'm hoping that you guys will tune in for that video on Monday. Of course, I plan to premiere it as it normally does on Mondays. And when I'm done here, I'm going to put the finishing touches on the Cozy Encyclopedia episode. I'm also going to be honest with you about something. I am really cognizant of, especially during my vacation time, of paying attention to what the algorithm is telling me. And one of the things I'm learning from reading YesMichelle Crochets' algorithm is that YouTube is looking at me like, lady, you have growth and you're killing it with this left-handed tutorial thing you think you're doing. I get one, maybe 2 views on those videos. At the height of them, I might get 10. That's counterintuitive to the growth of a channel if you're trying to get YouTube to push you further out in the algorithm. So I think going forward, I may be cutting that out. I might do one more this week, but if I do, that is just to see if it gets any momentum from the audience. Otherwise, it's a gone bye-bye thing. And let me read the chat. Kim is working on a V shrug, a V stitch shrug. Ooh, that sounds nice. I like that. I'll share with you the shrug I am working on. And it's not really a shrug, it's just a crop top. But this is the top that I am making. I love it. It is super, super cute. I have one sleeve done. I haven't seamed it closed. And I'm halfway done with the second sleeve. The body part came together real quick. And Erica says, wait a minute, I missed some things. I don't want to skip anyone. I finished a Victoria's German shell baby blanket this morning and 3 chickens this past week. Oh my goodness. You are amazing. Erica says, I'm working on a baby blanket for a gift. Finished a market bag recently. Which market bag style did you use? Because there's one that is vexing me and my overbusy brain can't figure out the time to get it done. Kim said, I'm a lefty, but I follow right-handed. Thank you. That top is cute and it's fun. But unfortunately, it's on the other side of the room and I can't get to it because to get me to sit down here is a lot of work and me moving would not be a good idea because when I get up, that's it. Nisi said, that's super cute. I love the designer's patterns. I got to meet her a couple of years ago. She's so sweet and down to earth. She seems like she would be. She just, I mean, I assume someone is the way they are based on the way they design sometimes. And maybe that's completely inaccurate. I will be frank, honest, and complete with you when I say this, and forgive me for saying it wrong. There are some people who you regret ever meeting, but I don't think she would be one of them. She just, even the little smiles you see in her photos make you think, oh, she's so easy to talk to. And I love that she makes size inclusive clothing, although I'd like to see her expand just a little bit more. But who am I to beg? I'll make the adjustments. I can read, I can count. Girl math works over here. Erica said, I did a couple of willow mesh markets. They are fun. I don't know that pattern. Oh, add it to the list. Let me get something to write on that I can write on because I can't write on that this week. Nisi said I could hang out with her all day. I love it. And willow mesh bags. And we have classical today because, yes, it's a classical kind of day. And Sherry said, our sugar inspired me with the Victoria's German shells blanket. I love how sugar hooks us into doing things that she will absolutely probably not do. Nisi said, I'm testing a pattern right now. I'm hoping to be done by the end of the weekend. We shall see. Well, hook away, my darling, hook away. And of course, like all of us, she says, I still have many other whips to get done as well. I need 3 of me. I need 6 of me because pauses, debates, decides, let them have it. Like I said, my anniversary is tomorrow. And when I say my anniversary, I do mean of this channel because I have allergies to having to be bothered with other people sometimes. I like silence. She's doing it right now. Ooh, I gotta see that. Nonetheless, what I'm struggling about whether or not to share with you all is the fact that I am a serial activity starter, not just projects. I have my music channel and it brings me joy. There's a lot that I want to do with it, but I'm running into some hiccups and challenges and I am scaling back from that. However, because of something that I do in my real life on a regular basis, which is public speaking and advocacy for families with neurodivergent teens and tweens, I started a YouTube channel that is exclusively focused on that. One second, I'm reading. Kim said, I plan on my son's sweater in the car for Florida. He's driving me crazy about it. I'm going to drive you crazy about it. I want to see it. I want to see it. So back to that quick little note. Not only does that element of my life mean so much to me because I am the parent of an adult who is on spectrum, but I'm often asked because of the unique trajectory that was taken with my son that can you come and talk to our group? Or I have, been on panels with other people and they're like, well, your take is so unique. How are you able to implement this? And then when I'm sharing those details, with a group of people, I often get asked, hey, can you come over and talk to our group about how you did this? What were your strategies? What were some of the pushbacks you got? What did you learn about this? And how were you able to get that? That's a lot of conversation. So rather than say this over and over and over again in multiple audiences, because of these 2 years with YesMichelle Crochets, I realized I still have the same skill set that I could apply to the neurodivergent space and create a channel exclusively for that. Additionally, direct conversations with families in a 90-minute session, helping them map out strategic ways to do those things for their family is what I'm very much passionate about. And it will help me to possibly either scale back to just one client or have no daycare at all. Because let's be realistic, I'm not getting any younger, and I need to look at what can I do that is mobile, physically friendly to my body, and at the same time really allows me to pursue the skill sets that I have invested the time to gain. So there is that. I have told you, and now you know. Sada. So now on to our trivia questions. And I'm setting my phone. I have one of those MagSafe chargers, and I'm trying to trigger it to charge my phone while that's sitting over there. Hopefully it'll figure it out. Coffee. As you might anticipate, when this 2 hours is up, my first move is going to be to the bathroom because I'm going to need a potty. So, first question, yarn hooks and maker quirks. I fall in the last one most often. Here's your first question. Scented yarn, a brilliant immersive innovation or a total sensory nightmare? What say you? Do you want scented yarn? And if so, is this something you would enjoy or something you'd be like, oh, heck no? And I'm going to grab my phone again because I need to be able to see the chat to know your thoughts. I can tell you I have opinions, but Nisi said, that's a wonderful adventure and plan. I know you will succeed. Oh, thank you. I thought, okay, I'm not planning to make scented yarn, but okay. No, I thank you. Genuinely, I do. Nisi, you better than many people understand the importance of advocacy in that community. Cherry, you said a mouthful right there. Cherry said, I'll pass on the scented yarn. I think scents are personal. Now, do I make a scented hand balm for when I'm working with yarn that's itchy or uncomfortable? Absolutely. But I make scents that make sense for me. And by the time that the final product is made and it's received, it's been laundered, that scent is now gone, and the person who receives it gets an essentially unscented product. Because what I love the scent of, you may detest. For example, there are lots of people who love the scent of lavender. Lavender is a choke scent for me because when I smell lavender, it's an association with putting children down for a nap, usually colicky kids. And I'm not liking it, especially if I'm opening up a package and it just wafts me in the face. So I would much rather either be warned or have the option of saying, please don't add that to my package. But yeah, you have people who glitter bomb you. I've had people who lavender bomb me, or people who rose bomb me. Ew. You want to know how quick to lose my business? Put something in it I don't like, and I hate roses. I said what I said. It stinks. At least the ones that have scents added at manufacturing. Yeah. Exactly. And even then, there are certain scents I love. Like, I will fully stand on the hill that Karen 1 pound yarn has a scent. It's not a heavy scent. It's not even one that you can walk by and go, there's Karen 1 pound in the room. No, you literally have to put your face in it to smell it. And it's nostalgic. It's, mm, I love it. But it's something that you don't know if you're not looking for it. But then I'm a weirdo. I smell most all of my yarn because I know, especially these days, yarn could have been sitting in a warehouse or in one of those storage trucks for an unbelievable amount of time in a place where the area around it influences the smell, and it might just smell old, and I'm not going to want it. So, yes, I'm weird. I smell my yarn. So, that's one reason why I would be opposed to the idea of scented yarn. Now, if I'm in a local yarn store and the yarn store has a smell and I like it, I don't think I'll be too bothered if my yarn smells like that. The other side of that coin is I don't use a lot of wool fibers, which I know hold the smell of the animal that they came from. I would assume it's a nice smell, but let's start with I'm allergic to wool, so it doesn't matter what it smells like. I'm out. Hey, Deborah, welcome in. I'm the unscented kind of person. Ting ting. Hello, that is me too. Kim, I think we're just the same kind of weird. I smell my yarn. I just do. Even yarn that is in my home, like right here. This is sitting here. I'm not gonna lie. I know why that smells like that. That smells like some hand lotion I had on the day that I wound that yarn into a cake. And oh, it was such a beautiful hand cream that I have no more of. So that's a note to me, make more. Because it was a cream I made. Hey Sarah, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Love you. You are so precious. And I hope you are well. Anyway, on to another question because yes. And oh, I have a question that isn't on the list. And if it is, I don't know it. What is your favorite word? Hi, Dream Knot. Welcome in. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the Stitch Circle. Now, my question, what is your favorite word? Because when my kids were really little, I was told my favorite word was no. It's not. It's really not. I mean, most people can pretty quickly guess what my favorite word is. Sarah said, love you too. This community is the best. It's because of people like you that this community is the best. That's just the fact of it. We are blessed and honored enough to share space with people who are creative and talented and just plain amazing. And you all show up not just for those of us who are crazy enough to press a play button and show you our face and tell you all of our insanities, but you show up for each other. When one of you is not having the best of days, I watch you in the chat say to one another, hey, you've got this. Or if somebody's struggling with a pattern, hey, I've got Zoom. If you want to jump on a Zoom with me, I'll talk you through how to get that done. That community-based support is unprecedented. And as somebody who learned how to knit and how to crochet without the benefit of social media like this, I wish I had those people then. But I have you now. And when I run into problems, I absolutely open my mouth and say, I don't get it. Help, help. So ignore my silliness, please. Yarn, of course. Yes. My family would say it's yours, but I don't think I have a favorite one. I definitely have a word that irritates me. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna ask that next. Erica said my favorite word is love. Mm, I love that. I need to sit with that a minute. My favorite word is yes. And most people think that that's a positive thing. Sometimes that's a dangerous thing. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I did. Or yes, I know. Now, somebody may be thinking, how is yes a bad thing? When I tell you, yes, I'm done with you. Yes, I am. And no, there's no way to come back from that. When I tell you, yes, I tried it and I don't like it, I'm confidently sure I don't like it. Whether that's a type of yarn or a technique or whatever, whatever it is and whatever way that shows up, yes is my word. I love yes. Because as a person who grew up in a not so idyllic situation, I didn't hear yes very often. So I resonate with that word and I love it, which is why I call my channel Yes Michelle. Because of course I'm gonna say yes to me. Nobody says no to Michelle. If Michelle says she loves you, then yes, she loves you. If Michelle says she's going to do something, yes, she is. And if Michelle says she's done with it, yes, she is. Sada. That's my word. Now, somebody mentioned that they have a word they don't like. I want to know. Tell. If you can. Now, if that word is something we can't say in special spaces, then we will leave it alone. It is a little more than 30 minutes of the hour. If you have not had a sip of your cup, please grab your cup and hydrate. Thank you. So, wait a minute, let me push this back and open that up. Because, of course, my phone decided it wanted to do what it wanted to do, irregardless of what I want to do. And Sarah said, I don't have a favorite word, but my most frequently used word is, huh? What? See, I can hear her saying it. I can hear it. That's crazy. Even if I heard it and understood it, huh? What comes out first? Yeah, I try to avoid that. But sometimes me saying, huh, and what is better than the bomb that is lurking behind the huh what. Huh what is hiding WT alphabet soup. And believe me, there are times that it's appropriate for me to say that because I'm like, I know you didn't. Fix your face to say dot. Because I want to ask, what are you thinking and what are you drinking? Because both of them are bad for your health. Cherry said, the word is kosh. Kosh. The weatherman in my area uses it all the time and it irritates me. I don't know what that word is, but I'm going to take account that I probably don't want to know. Kosh? Wild word, but I'm sorry. You're always welcome to move to a different place. In fact, I think you are moving soon. Kosh, oh, skosh, meaning a little bit. Ew. Yeah. See, I need more coffee. We need another question. Nisi said, I don't have a favorite word, but I do use TV show phrases in my regular vocab a lot. Same. And a favorite phrase of mine, and it's usually when I'm being snarky, and it's kind of that final warning before I turn into somebody you don't want to see. You said all that to say what? I'm not going to say something ugly to people a lot. I try not. I will eventually. I get there. I'm human. But when I say, you said all of that to say what? That is to let them know you wasted your time talking and my time pretending to listen. For instance, say, how you doing a lot when hi to someone I don't even know. I know. I love that. Definitely understand how you doing. How you doing? I can see. We're all there. We are all there. So, our next question. What is your absolute favorite way to store your hooks? A pouch, a jar, a roll up organizer, or just loose in a drawer? Now, it's funny how we have that question because as much as I can show you, can I show you the third one? I don't know. I have two that I can reach right now. And forgive my glance away. This is my favorite. These, of course, are my Furls Odyssey 2s. These are my babies. They're in the little acrylic case and they are so happy. And then I knew I was going to drop that, but it was okay. My second way. A pouch at the moment. Okay. How you doing, everyone? Hey, Nana Michelle. Woman look peeking out of the bushes. I love it. And Nisi said, I have several pouches and a roll-up organizer for my project bag. This is my other way. And I have 1, 2, and there's a mug behind that are all filled with different hooks that I need to have at the ready. And then my third way, I've shown you all in the past, and I don't have access to it right now. Excuse me. You heard my keyboard drop, and I need to pick it up because we can't leave it on the floor. That's just not how I do things. Have I missed something? I want to make sure I didn't miss. Okay. So Cherry said, I have a pouch for some and a zip case for my vintage boy hooks. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. I'm going to set this off to the side. Hopefully, I'll be able to do everything without reaching for that. And then my other resource for my hooks is MIA for the moment. And that just means I've moved it around again. But that is a pencil zipper case that I have hooks in. And each page has the type of hooks that I use. For example, the front page has a mix of my wooden and my resin Furls hooks. I did try resin with Furls, and I am going to always be transparent with you if that gets me canceled by them. I hope it doesn't because I do love their product, but I am not a resin girly. I don't trust them. I think they're pretty, but I won't buy them. That's just me. I, however, do love the wood streamline ones. Those, they get me going, but the metal is my Cadillac. I love the metal hooks. So I have a page for those, and not just the ones that are up on the wall. Because yes, my Furls blush, they've got a case exactly like my Odyssey 2s because I want to be able to see them and reach for them and use them. But then my go-tos that I just have for quick reach and availability, they're in that book. I also have a full set of the Clover Amours. I have a full set of Prim because, yeah, I thought I'd like them. So, no, did I buy just one and try it? Have we met? That is not what I do. I bought a full set. And I have them. You'll notice you almost never see me use them. And believe me, I gave them a fair shake. I didn't just use them on 1 or 2 projects. I used them on lots of them. And now, regrets. And no, not regrets. Lesson learned. I will never regret a lesson learned. And Nana Michelle says, I have a hook binder with a zipper case thing That for all my favorite hooks. The other ones are in cups and such. See, absolutely. That's me. So wait a minute. Let me remember, because if I don't mark it off, it didn't get questioned. Um okay, I'm gonna ask this question, but we are not allowed to ask Michelle, has this personally happened to her? Because I think my face just told on me. Have you ever accidentally dropped a hook into your food or drink while stitching? My follow up question to that is, if you did you turn around and put the hook in your mouth to clean it off, or did you take it to the sink and rinse it off? Because I have seen both happen, and I'm not telling you what I did, because I'm me, and let's start with, I find things very, very nasty. So I'm just, no judgment, judgment zone free. We listen and we don't judge. So you let me know what you did if you want to. I can actually say no. I can actually say no. You've never dropped a hook into your food. I love that. I had to think about it. Yes. Ah, it's turning into ice. We don't like that for us. Mm, I'm almost out of coffee, people. That's not good. And I shake the cup like it's going to reproduce more coffee. That just means it's time to change from coffee to something else. Wait a minute, everybody's jumping in on this one. Okay, let's see. I have to separate my eating and snacking from my crochet, because this girl is messy. I'm the queen of multitasking, but believe you me, I struggle with certain things like eating or drinking and trying to work diligently on a project, especially a project with light colors. Cherry said, I don't remember that ever happening. Yeah, that's called trauma dumping. We have erased things from our memory. And Nana Michelle said, no, but you're right. Your face says it all. LOL. Now I want the story. Can I tell this story? Okay. I'm going to, fingers crossed, hope that this person is not watching the live and not chatting, but they're a part of my team. It's apparently not eating unless I end up wearing some of it. Nisi, that's called memories. That's all that is. Memories, dear. Okay, so I'm telling you this story, and it's just between us, and don't you dare tell it anywhere else. While ago, I'm on a Zoom meeting with a person. Well, with some people. It's my friends. We get together and we do it on Zoom because we live in different places now. We all grew up here, but we're all over the place now. So so we're eating, and it's kind of like our dinner together. But I'm working on a crochet project. That person is knitting, and she's going and going and going and going and going. Well, knitting takes two hands, but she decided she wanted a scoop of her chili. So she held both the needles in one hand, scooped the chili with the other, and it either scorched her mouth, or it somehow, it got to her. I don't know if the peppers hit her wrong or something. She dropped one of the needles, and you hear ding dong. The dunk was the needle falling into the chili bowl. This girl did not get up and try to recover the stitches that had fallen off of that needle and secure her project. No, she tossed that to the side, reaching for her needle. and slid it in her mouth across her teeth. And I hung up when I tell you. I did not show up to that group for 2 months. I couldn't, because every time I saw the Zoom symbol on my phone, I immediately heard that squeak. It was like nails on a chalkboard for me, not to mention, bless her heart, I know her. If she will take a needle that had been in that yarn, which was wool, by the way, and slide it through her mouth, what else will she put in her mouth? No, I couldn't do it. And because I'm noticing the numbers, I'm almost positive she's not here. And if she is here, girl, I love you, but that was nasty. So, yeah, ooh. When I tell you there is still trauma behind that, still. Like, we have rules now when we have meetings to discuss whatever I'm doing, whether it is this YouTube thing or other projects that they might be working with me on. I'm very clear about, we can have something to drink, but it must be closed, because I can't stop, especially if I'm mentally dumping information out very, very quickly so I can move on to something else. I can't risk making a mess and needing to stop and clean it up, or having my cup spill over and create a problem for me elsewhere. There's usually always yarn very, very, very close to me, and I cannot risk that yarn being damaged by my drink or whatever. You can hear things fall. I never worry about things falling. I can pick up most anything. Oh, you always hear me say, stitch markers are your friends. Stitch markers are your friends. Because yes, and I got that for a steal in the deal on Amazon. Just saying. And Cherry said, that would be a major trauma. It still is. And this didn't just happen a year ago. This happened well before I had a channel. And oh, whoa, I suffered. And I still do. I will not forget. I will not forget. I have jokingly said that if she passes before I do, I'm going to take a set of needles and jam them into the head in front of her gravestone, just as a joke between she and I. And she told me, and if you don't leave me a set of size 7s, we're going to have a fight. Say less. Say less. But I've also told her she's not allowed to die until she finishes her work, and I'm always going to have more work for her. So there is that. Okay, next question. Because yeah, I need to get that image out of my head, because I'm literally low key stressing about that. I also need to put my ring back on. Oh, there. If you had to name a brand new yarn colorway, or a colorway collection, correction, after your current mood, what would it be? I have an answer. Mine would be turquoise blue, but it wouldn't just be turquoise blue. It would be trauma blue, as in cold blue, because that almost killed me. So there's my colorway. What's yours? If you had to name a colorway for a brand new yarn after your current mood, what would you call it? Sarah said Zen in the Garden. I love that. Hello, Persephone. I do hope you're well, and I am sending you positive vibes as you prepare for the things you're going to be preparing for. So, thank you for being here. So, I'm going to reach over to my side because we've got some time. I want to work on something and I need to put this water together, don't I? I should put the water together so you get to hear your little serenity now. I love that. Serenity now. Okay. Since my coffee decided to abandon early, we have our water cup. We have our premix of liquid IV with extra flavors because for me, liquid IV is too salty. And Sarah said, usually it would be something like Seeing Red with These Boys. Cherry said hers would be Calm Waters. I like that. What I'm finding thematically is we're either in reds or blues. You know what? There might be a yarn called that. Beach Please. And that could be said two different ways, as in, or Beach Please. Yes. I'm with you, Kim. Yes, yes. So I'm going to explain this for you just so you guys know what I'm drinking here. This is a combination of liquid IV white peach, yeah, but necessary. So I stick my tongue out and go yuck, 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 but I have to have it. And 2 shakies of the Weiler's peach ring flavor. 1 additional half shaky of the pina colada flavor, and I forget who the maker is on that. All mixed up. But wait, there's more. I also have to add, can I reach it? Yes. And I'll set this to the side and toss it after the live. I need 2 pumps of coconut. And this is a sugar-free coconut syrup. I do everything 1, 2 on a very high scale because your girl is bougie. I don't know why people forget that about me. Calm with a bit of chaos and shades of purples, teals, and blues with a splash of neon pink. I love it. Girl, make that yarn. That take all my money. Just take all my money. Michelle, mixology going on. I got to do what I got to do. Now, behind this cup is another cup of water. Well, another bottle of water. Because that's a lot of flavor concentrated. So we have to break it with water because that's essentially what we're drinking. And when I tell you, I don't measure, but it always turns out right, it did. This literally filled up the cup with that mix, that extra syrup. And I'm not going to tell you how I mix this because this is the weirdest mess on the planet. But I need those secure first. Oh, that's so good. Stop playing. Stop playing. That is so good. And I can drink it because it has all of the hydration that I need to get into my system because my nutritionist was not playing with me about improve, ma'am, improve. You can do better, do better. So the liquid IV was not a choice. It was a requirement and I got it. But I can't stand it. So I have to hide it in something else. And speaking of hiding things that I needed and didn't like, I don't know about any of you, but as a little kid, well, okay, as an adult too, because it hasn't changed, I detest peas. Green peas are the bane of my existence. I do not like them, and I do not like green lima beans. I feel that with every fiber of my soul. But when I was a child, I didn't have a choice of whether or not I ate those peas. My mother would make me sit at that table until those peas turned to stone. I was not getting up until every pea on my plate was eaten. Eventually, I discovered that my cat ate peas. Love that cat. But until I knew it, I literally would treat peas like pills. She almost always served peas with mashed potatoes. So I would scoop the peas into the mashed potatoes and scoop it up and swallow it whole. No mash, no mush, just swallow. It was the only way I could get through eating peas. And now I just won't. I just won't. It is what it is. I'm not doing it. Oh, that's so good. So back to our questions and back away from the peas. Oh. So I don't want to know acrylic versus plant fibers because, quite honestly, that's none of my business. Enjoy your yarn in whatever way you like. Know that you cannot send me wool and you cannot make things for me that have wool in them. But do I love bamboo? Yes. Do I love rayons that were made out of things other than bamboo, as long as it's not wool? Yes. Do I live for my acrylics? Absolutely. So now you know all you need to know about me. I am not the kind of person that sends out yarn on a regular basis. So unless we've discussed it, I will only find out when you tell me and expect me to forget. I'm just saying. Cherry said, I can swallow lima beans whole if I have to. See? Yes. No. Not giving it. Not doing it. But ironically, I love white lima beans. Go tell that to somebody and make it make sense, because I can't. Oh, let's see. Can we move it down and then move it back up? All right. Guys, bear with me. You're going to lose my hair for a second. But I got to show off something so cute. This is my shirt of the day. It has my scissors in the V, my hook, my yarn, my E. Because I love my crochet, my yarn, and my scissors. So I had to show off a little bit. I hope you understand. There you go. Let me see if I can make a little adjustment. There. I think I look okay. And if I don't tell me. Let's see. Oh, now this is a question that I really want to know the genuine answer to. Do you find that you stitch faster when listening to fast-paced music or watching an intense thriller show? I want to know. Cherry said, I love that shirt. It's so cute. Thank you, Amazon. The Zon got me again. Oh. So, do you find when you're listening to a real quick pace music, you are a faster stitcher versus maybe watching a scary, intense, on the edge of your seat kind of thriller, and you're like, oh, I can't even breathe, let alone hook? Am I the only one that gets like that? Because I can listen to some of the most zippity doo-dah kind of music, maybe no real connection to the noise I'm hearing, but because the beat and the din 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 din, I'm just and I'm moving. I love it. Hey, welcome in, Melissa. How are you, my darling? And please forgive me for looking over there, but that's where my chat is for the moment. Yes, Nana. It just is. If the music is bopping, so is my hook. It just seems to get into my body's spirit of it all, which is why when we do the yarn bistro, you'll notice that I tend to play lower, slower music because I have to decompress after a live. It's not a negative now. It used to be. I used to have to remind myself who I was and that I was okay. But now it is thinking about some of the things that I've seen that you've said, how you've made me feel, and I'm just floating on a cloud after that. I have to bring it all down because I still have to go to bed. I have to get up the next morning, prepare meals, maybe do laundry and things like that. So I need to taper down a little bit. So, yeah. And let's see, Cherry said, too, music, yes, but the movies is a good stop crocheting. I have to pay attention to what's going on. That part. And Nana Michelle says, yes, put you in the zone. I think, at least for me. True for me too. And Persephone said, music, but then I stitch too tight. Oh, see, I'm a loose stitcher. I'm a loose stitcher because if it's fast and I'm going real fast, those stitches get even looser. You would think they would get tighter. No, they get looser. Sarah said, I'm not sure, but I definitely crochet faster when I'm super stressed or irritated. Ooh, see, I'm the opposite. I'm slower because I'm literally, you can almost hear the grinding of that yarn being pulled taut against my hook as I'm trying to make it into a knot before my hands turn into these, and somebody's face feels very different. So, yeah, no. And then oftentimes I just put on a set of headphones and tune everybody out. And if you see both of my ears covered, and wait a minute, I have to show you something else. I'm telling you, I have all kinds of gadgets to address stress and anxiety. And this has been a perfect investment for me. Wait a minute. This is called Loop. And what they are circular earplugs. And what you do is you stick them in your ear, and they just look like a little earring, maybe, but they block out a lot of the noise around you. I will put these on and then put over the ear headphones on and concentrate on what I need to work on, because there's a lot of times that things are going on around me that have nothing to do with me, and I need to tune out and focus. Yes, 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 yes. Sarah said, that's exactly what I do. I have headphones. I have noise canceling headphones, but I have mommy ears. So even though the noise canceling application can be on, I'm still hearing my son bumping around in his room, or my daughter ticking away with something that she's cooking or whatever, whatever. So the mental immersion is distracting for me. And if I need to pay attention to a very intricate pattern, or a book that is requiring more of my attention than just the surface run through, then yeah, it's time to block out and lock in. So these Loop headphones, well, noise counselors, or beautiful. And if you just want to wear them by themselves, it tunes out a lot of the ambient noise around you, but it's still safe enough for you to have on while you're driving, or while you're just in a room with other people. It just kind of takes it down a level. Just imagine being able to turn life's volume down. Loop does that for me, and these are so perfect. So I have a set here right by my desk. I have a set over by my bed because I put those in at night, because my family's like, oh, this is funny. Send her the link, and all of a sudden, ding, and my phone is dinging. And it's 10 o'clock at night, and I've been asleep for 2 hours. Yeah, more than I need. Or my extended family who live in other parts of the country, whose day doesn't end at 8 p.m. my time. It ends at 11 p.m. their time, which could be 1 a.m. my time. And I don't know about you, but some people scroll through things long past their bedtime. Cherry, yes, we are having bistro tonight. Yes, thank you. I think the link is posted, but I will check after this live to make sure. So, yes, do you have things you want to work on or things we should be chatting about? I want to know now. Tell. But I'm glad she brought that up because since we're all gathered here, I'm going to share something with you guys. And I mentioned this when we first started doing the Yarn Bistro. We weren't sure whether or not this was going to be able to extend beyond the summer. Right now, I'm very fortunate. My college age student is home from school, eliminating a lot of my back and forth travel. But I'm about to move back into many times where I'm not going to be available on Saturday evening. So Jerry said, I'll probably still be working on this chicken. Or another one. We know you're quick. But having said that, I've talked with my team. One of my team members is going to be taking a step back because they have other obligations they need to address. So we're still in the discussion phase of which will be the more appropriate move forward, whether we want to merge both of these concepts, the Stitch Circle experience and the Yarn Bistro. I am of the understanding and belief they're two different vibes and they have two different experiences for us all. The other opportunity to consider, and this is going to be looking at what the landscape of our community looks like, maybe doing two nighttime lives. One would be a Stitch Circle vibe on a designated day, and the other one would be the Yarn Bistro, either on a Friday or Saturday night. Cherry said it takes me about 11 hours for me to make a chicken. That's quick. I know people that take 2 weeks to make those things. Now, you know that's on me, and Michelle doesn't do on me, so I can't give you timeline on how long it would take me forever, ever, and ever. Just saying. But I do love them. I do. I think they're cute. Anyway, see, I got off track. But as I'm in the assessment phase with my team on what we're going to do going forward with that, I want to be transparent with you, my besties, about what we're looking at doing. And I would dearly appreciate your input on what you'd like to see me do. Do you want me to merge them into one live? I don't know that I could do, first of all, I'm not going to do an intentional 4-hour live every week. That's not going to happen. I can't make that happen because no, I am still human. I'm not at the point in my life where I need to wear the pins, and I don't want to wear the pins for a live. But at some point, my bladder will need relief. So, with that in mind, it might still just be 2 hours. I might be able to extend it a little bit more, but I don't know how much more. And ultimately, I don't want to keep you any longer than you want to be here. Simultaneously, I don't want to neglect my other obligations. Today, wait a minute. These aren't like the regular armies because they're crocheted flat U's and short rows, then get seamed together. Same difference. I'm just saying, if I can't wear it or I can't wrap up in it, I'm probably not gonna make it. But again, and I'm gonna say again, I love them. I just don't want to make one. I felt the same way about those cute little bees. I think they're gorgeous. No, nah, I'm good. Good. Anyway, but in thinking of how we want to move forward, I really would like your input on what you all want to see happen with this element. I think we have a beautiful community with our Stitch Circle, and I know I love the sometimes messy, sometimes shady, experience that we have in the yarn bistro. That velvet rope appeal, it screams me. But at the same time, they're two different experiences for us all. And Deborah said, just let us know when you will be on, and I will be there. I am out on the West Coast and I work a job from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., which is hard for me to catch in the middle of the week and early day. I totally understand. And I take that into consideration with things like this, which is why I chose a Saturday morning. Will I be giving some easy project ideas to make? Absolutely. In fact, I am working on pulling together some ideas for one skein projects that can be done quickly and easily. And Faith, if you will check back a couple of weeks ago, I dropped a video of how to take projects on the go, especially when you've lost your crojo. Those to me are often the easiest entry back into crochet. And by those, I mean dishcloths. My to go bag is in my purse right now because I took it to go. No, this is extra hooks. When I say I have hooks everywhere, I'm not playing, like everywhere. And I know this is a deviation, but I'm going to show you what I mean. This is just a furls bag that I got as a gift. But in this bag is a bunch of dots hooks. Let me pull that out. Turn over, please, and thank you. And there's also money in there, but we won't talk about that. So yeah, I have all kinds of hooks and an original Furls Odyssey hook. And I think this is in. But yeah, emergency dots hooks, a little bit of money. Yeah, all in a little Ziploc bag. But I mentioned having bags like this, only a little bit bigger. Having a skein of yarn available. And I'm going to grab one because, yes, I have one close by. These little mercerized skeins of yarn, toss one of those in one of those cosmetic bags along with the appropriate hook, a small pair of scissors, a darning needle, a couple of stitch markers. And do I have, I don't have one on my desk, I don't think. Let me see. Is this one? Yep. Because I try to set these up. I apologize. I got you shaking. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is a pattern for a dishcloth or a washcloth. On the side, you'll notice I have my stitch markers hanging. Usually, I will also have a darning needle attached to that, but I was using my darning needle to sew something up. So I disconnected it from this card. And yes, I have multiples of those because I lose them. But I'll attach all of those things to the pattern and drop it in the cosmetic bag, and something easy where I can practice my half double crochets, my double crochets, my single crochets, my tension, my counting, when to or not to place a stitch marker. All of those are easy skill sets that we need to do. And of course, I have a 2-round 3-dimensional butterfly pattern that I have not released. And I know you guys are like, when, Michelle? When? And the answer is when Michelle can slow down enough to make the tutorial. I am not a tutorialist and I talk too much. So that combination makes for my tutorials to look a little bit crazy. But I think I'm just going to give you the rough cut of what we've got and move forward. This is my butterfly. What this one doesn't have is the antenna that goes on it with the complementary color. But it has the 3D wings. And this is so much fun to make. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about something you don't have access to, but I'm going to make it available. I promise you. And uh, Cherry said, I'm available most of the time, so whatever works best for you is good with me. Thank you. Thank you. We well past our 10 o'clock, well, 10 o'clock my time, but the top of the hour without me reminding you to grab your cup and hydrate, please and do. Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you, Nana. Thank you. The pattern is done. I've had a couple of people test it for me and give me constructive feedback of adjustments that I need to make, what I know to be true. And I proved it to myself by not touching it for 30 days and then going back and just following the pattern. Could it be done? The answer was yes. And I don't think I filled in anything. And my final test was I have a very new crocheter who is also left-handed, though she's teaching herself to crochet right-handed now, because she said too many of the pretty patterns are right hand only. So she's flipping it, which is a whole brain break. But I gave her the pattern. And the only thing she did that I wouldn't have done, and again, this is part of being a new crocheter, was she put, instead of putting it back to line them up, she put them face to face. So we saw the backs of the wings, but it was still pretty. It just didn't look like what I thought it should look like, but it wasn't my butterfly. Haha. So I hope that answers your question. Faith, I would dearly love to have you as a subscriber and have you watch the journey of how I bring in more projects and patterns that speak to the easier crochet opportunities as well as the more challenging. And by more challenging, I don't like the word challenging, I like involved, because they're going to require more of your time and attention, but they're not beyond your skill set. So many designers that I know, love, and trust have said that it's almost counterintuitive to say that this is an intermediate pattern or this is an advanced pattern. I'm creating an entire series on my channel called the Cozy Encyclopedia so that I can eliminate the need for people expecting that this is the threshold that they have to stop at. If you know how to do a double crochet, but you don't know how to do the foundational double crochet, head over to my channel. I explain it in detail. Or you're making a blanket and what you don't like is your blanket always has that almost arch like at the bottom when you're first starting it because you've made your chain the right number of stitches. You increase the correct number of chains to get to the height of the first row, but it still waves. That's because that's the kind of pattern that would have been better done with a foundation stitch as opposed to a chain stitch. So I'm breaking those things down in bite-sized nuggets for you to learn how to do. I've done the magic ring. I have filmed, although not finished editing, how to work in the round. And then I'm going to explain row by row stitching. And by that, I mean understanding how to adjust your chain so that it matches the stitch that you're making in a given row. These are the nerdier elements that oftentimes designers have in their brain and they know it, but they may not translate it. And new crocheters definitely need that information. So I'm trying to be the bridge in the middle to help everyone have access to crochet in a way that makes sense. And I love doing it. Not to mention, and this is just me telling on me, I have learned so much so fast just doing that. I will share with you that we're almost done with tier one. So the video after me talking about crocheting in rows will be a culmination of the arc of everything we've discovered. It is going to be a longer video, but it is going to detail all of the elements of everything we've covered. So, all of that and start another channel. Your girl stays busy, but I love it for me. I do. Anyway, back to our questions because we need some more questions, don't we? The weekend kitchen table. Oh, I don't know about any of you, but some of us have, kids that might be headed back off to college. Some have family members that are going to be moving out. And some of us are just turning around, looking at the kitchen table going, okay, what do I need to put on that this weekend? So I'm going to be asking questions in that zone. What is your ultimate pizza crust style? This is such a great question because I live in St. Louis and we have a pizza style, if that's what you want to call it. Are you a thin and crispy, a stuffed crust, or a thick deep dish? And sound off if you don't like pizza at all, because I need to know. Because it means don't bring pizza to your house. So what are you? And I will tell you that I am through and through a St. Louis girl, but I do not necessarily care for thin crust pizza. In fact, if my family orders the thin crust, Niecy's like, hand toss, please. Yes, yes, yes. Cherry says, thick crust for Detroit style. And Deborah says, thick deep dish. The best pizza I have ever had. And I promise you, if busy didn't keep me at home, I would already be on the nearest train headed to Chicago, because Chicago deep dish pizza with the sauce on the top. Whew. Oh, it's so good. I literally love it. I love it. And Nana Michelle said, it's a toss-up, thin and crispy or stuffed crust. I don't like stuffed crust because I feel like the cheese cools too fast inside of it. And if I bite in it and it's too hot, I'm over it. Yes, I'm persnickety. We know this. But thin, I will eat thin pizza if it's cold. I know that's weird. But there's a story to that too. In St. Louis, I don't know if the other place still exists because I never order from there. There was a competition, essentially a competition. Two different major pizza places here. Emo's Pizza, everybody's heard of it nationally because so many of our local celebrities will have this pizza shipped to them. And this other place called Elisa's Pizza. I didn't like it. Family members loved it. But I'm like 19. Yeah, about 19 years old. And yes, that means that I'm about to tell that I was doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. However, comma, and here we go. So I've always had this face, okay? And by this face, I mean, I looked like a grown-up at 10. If I can find pictures of me as a child where it's just me and I don't like gag at the sight of it, I will share a picture of me as a child. I've always had this I'm grown face. Add this voice to it. And you didn't know whether I was 12 or 25. I'm so serious. At 10 years old, I was 5'4". And I was physically developed like somebody who was grown. So I would go to the corner store by my aunt's house. And the people who ran that store didn't really check IDs a lot. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm missing something. Nana Michelle said, I love deep dish pizza, right? She says, I guess I love them all. Same. But not so much the thin. So my aunt would order Elisa's Pizza, and I would go around the corner to the local store and pick up Bartles and James wine coolers, 2 4-count containers, and bring them back. Hey Nene, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Hello. So, my cousins and I would be sitting up listening to music and arguing about what the appropriate music of the evening was, drinking wine coolers, telling my aunt that they were just a different kind of pop. And first of all, she should have known something was wrong. In St. Louis, we don't call that drink pop, we call it soda. Middle of the state, they call it soda pop. The other side of the state calls it pop. This is how you know where we're from. She didn't think about it. We're sitting here knocking back Bartles and James, and I could only eat this pizza after it got cold. So I would take 2 Bartles and James and put them in the back of the refrigerator, along with like 4 or 5 slices of pizza. We might start playing a game or listening to some music or whatever we were doing at the time. Then 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd go get the wine coolers I put in the refrigerator and my cold pizza and enjoy those things, and then go to bed, sleep about an hour, get up and go to work because I worked at the Arch. So now you know my bad behavior. I told on myself, said I. Now, how many of you have crazy stories like that? Because this is the Stitch Circle. Feel free to share. And we're at almost the half of an hour mark. So by all means, please hydrate. And if I haven't reminded you and you came in after I initially said it, please do me a favor. Hit the like button for this live stream and double check your subscriptions. As you know, YouTube is always YouTubing, and sometimes they will do a lack of mobility or engagement on a channel, unsubscribe people so unfairly. But I want to make sure that you and I stay connected. So make sure you're subscribed, and please like this video or like this live stream. So I told on myself. And the crazy part is I don't have to worry about any pushback. The people who were involved with those activities, my aunt, my cousins, they don't know I have a YouTube channel, and I'm not telling them. And if they do know, they know don't come over and play with me. I'm not that girl. Nana Michelle said, wow. Remember, wine coolers came in 2-liter bottles. Or at least they did here back in Ohio back in the day. Absolutely. Absolutely. No different here. No different here. So yeah. Think if I'm drinking 2 of those, sobriety you would think would be a problem, but it wasn't, because I was the kind of person who metabolized alcohol readily and easily, which might be why I'm diabetic now. I don't know. Just own it. I'm never gonna tell you good, bad, or indifferent. What I believe is alternate history. I did things that caused me to be in the position I'm in today. Said I. The good things and the bad things, well, I'm gonna tell it. So it's too quiet over there. Excuse me for just a moment. I'm adjusting our music. There we go. And Cherry said, when my middle son gets pizza, he gets Detroit style deep dish square pizza with no sauce, all meat. That's protein on a cracker. I'm sorry. What comes up comes out. It just is what it is. I love you though, but I used to have to order. Oh, this was forever ago too, when my daughter was very, very young. She was diagnosed as lactose intolerant. So we would order pizza with sauce and meat, but no cheese. And do you know how many times I get a phone call? What? That's not pizza. We know, but it's the only way she can eat pizza, and she really wants pizza, and she can't have the cheese. We'll send you an uncovered half, like with nothing on it, sauce in a cup, and meat. heat up the sauce, heat up the meat, put it on yourself, but we're not going to mess our ovens up that way. I understood and I didn't blame them. Nana said, past things make us what we are today. No judgment. Thank you. But I hope that by sharing that particular story, it is more of a cautionary tale to some of your younger kidneys and metabolisms that while you can, it doesn't mean that you're going to get away with it. You will pay for it later. I always say now, you'll pay now or you'll pay later. But when you pay later, you'll pay more. And I say that because some of my medications cost more than some people's utility bills. And that's not bragging. It's not a flex and it's not fun. Do you know how much yarn I could buy if I didn't have to buy medicine? Because when I was young, I would knock down obscene amounts of alcohol for reasons that make no sense. So, let's clear the air. Turn the fan. Okay. And talk about something a lot more positive. Ooh, okay. Now, see, this seems to be a constant argument in my household, so I'm asking about yours. Homemade leftovers or ordering local takeout when you're having a lazy weekend night. What say you? I know what I'm doing. First of all, I live with a young adult who is his own food compactor. There's almost never a leftover. And even if I thought, oh, I've made more than enough to have leftovers, if he's home, there really aren't leftovers. Or he has planned those leftovers and he will tell you it's not in there, even if it is. Which is a testimony to the fact that my kids love my cooking. I'm very lucky that way. Because a lot of people cook and their children won't touch it. Like, okay, converse. My mother used to make spaghetti. And there was always spaghetti left over. And it would always go bad. Because I don't like sweet spaghetti. I want my spaghetti to be savory and to have that tomatoey, basil, oregano, all of the flavors. I want the Italian sausage crumbled in addition to Italian sausage, beef, and pork meatballs. Yes, all in one meatball. Nisi said, we love leftovers, but if we have none and we have a survive yourself night, quick meals. Absolutely. See, I would so fit in Nisi's cottage. I know I would, because that's me all day. But yeah, mom's spaghetti was a no-go. It was a no-go. So she'd make it and she'd eat it. I think my dad endured it. I don't know that he loved it, but I can't say he didn't because he ate it. But I didn't like it. I just didn't. It wasn't my thing. It was not my jam. So I just didn't want it. And Nana Michelle says, lazy night, cheese and crackers. I rarely have leftovers and I don't eat out much. Now I want spaghetti. We just finished spaghetti. So that's why spaghetti is on the brain. But in between, I'm going to, I call it the quick change meal. Like it is Saturday tonight. And because I have a lot of things to do, wait a minute. My youngest has become the family cook, so we don't order out that often. He made homemade quiche for the first time this week. Oh, I love it. I love a good quiche. Love a good spinach quiche. That's it for me. But like I said, today's a quick change day. I've got my hat on because I do have to go out later on and get some things done and then still come in, eat, take a nap, because in order for me to be up for 2 more hours from 7 my time to 9 my time, I've got to get at least 1 hour sleep. So, with that said, my quick change meal of the day is I am making taco soup. I've already taken out the meats that are going to go in it. I'll saute those. It'll take me probably 10 minutes with the onion, the garlic, and all of the things that I'm going to add, like the celery. But then I will dump all of the dry things in, the parboiled beans, and I don't want to do corn. So I'm going to do hominy and mix all of that with broth and stock and put that in my instant pot, turn that on, and then I'm out the door. It'll cook itself. I have tortilla chips that are already cut and in the bin. I'm going to spray those with an extra virgin of olive oil, stick them in the oven for 5 minutes, pull them out. They'll be nice and crunchy and flavorful. And that's going to be dinner. Hit it with a little bit of sour cream. That's my meal before I return to 7 p.m. live streaming. And hopefully there'll be leftovers for tomorrow so that I can find out what it tastes like, because I won't remember what it tastes like tonight. So you guys are cheese and crackers. I also love grilled cheese sandwiches. And Nana Michelle said, yum, I haven't made taco soup in forever. I love using hominy instead of corn. Yes. I had never had taco soup until one of my very dear friends. I used to do a freezer meal group, myself and a number of other parents who all had kids around the same ages. Our kids were either in middle school or high school at that point. And one of the ladies brought her taco soup recipe. I loved it so much so that I had to have it. I have tweaked it. And yes, we do it all the time. And Denise said, I too have cheese and crackers for dinner. Or if I go to a local diner for lunch, I get an extra meal to go for dinner. See, this is something that I encourage people to do. If you're going to a place that has a dine for two, or a meal that says 2 for 20 or 2 for 10 or whatever, I don't know. I don't get to go out. If I can't DoorDash it, I don't usually get it. But if you can get a 2 for 1 meal, then by all means, if you're just one person, go ahead and order the 2 meals. Put the other one up for a meal for you for later, especially when you're busy. You might be, midstream into a really intense book, a podcast, a television program, or just a project you're crocheting on, and you don't have the kind of time to stop and make a meal and that. Just grab that out, toss it in the microwave or put it in the oven and let it go. I also own a couple of those mini crock pots, the tiny ones, the to-go ones with the screw-on lid. I will put some really yummy soup in that, especially if I take the container out and freeze it with the soup in it. I'll just stick it in the heating element, turn it on, plug it up, leave it on the counter. And then I know, okay, it's 3 p.m. alarm is going off. That means I need to eat. I've already got the meal ready to go. A small sleeve of crackers. I forgot to order them. I meant to order some oyster crackers, but having something like that ready for me to go to eat is critical because I'm a terrible eater. I've told you guys this time and time again, but it's true. I am. And Cherry said, wait a minute, I missed Cherry's comment. Ooh, how did I miss it? Wait a minute. And Cherry said, I had made pulled pork this week. So one quiche was pulled pork and one was spinach and cheese and the other was pulled pork, mushrooms, and Vidalia onions and cheese. Ooh, that sounds delish. That sounds delicious. See, I'm all caught up. This is what I mean by I have the chat right there. So I'm thinking I'm staying on task with that. And then sure as I am me, I missed something. So I apologize if I've missed any comments along the way. But yes, that's what's happening. That's what's happening with me. And as you can tell, because we're talking about food so much, your girl might just be a wee bit hungry. My coffee this morning was my protein based coffee. I did have my 30 grams of pre made protein in the form of a shake, and I added an additional 20 grams of protein from a powder blended up with my instant coffee and just a hint of my fake sugar and 2 pumps of my maple butter pecan flavored syrup, sugar free, of course, and so good, which is why that got empty so fast. It hurt my heart. I might have to rewind. When I'm making taco soup, I might make an extra coffee because I may need the extra energy. Anyway, let's get out the kitchen because we're all going to be hungry in a minute. And pop culture and screen nostalgia. What was your first CD, cassette, or vinyl record you ever bought with your own money? And I'm going to add this caveat. When you spent your own money on it, was it for you or was it a gift? Now, and I'm thinking, the first time I went to the record store to actually spend my money to buy an album, an LP, I bought Anita Baker's album, her first. I can see the front of it. I can't think of the name of it right now. All this talk of good food, I need to get groceries. Mail, DoorDash, or Instagram, or is it Instacart? I don't know. I don't use that one. I use DoorDash because I have that membership thing. And I understand for those of you who have Grubhub or like Grubhub, you can connect that to your Amazon account. Just sharing information that I know. There's all no judgment. Anyway, I'm sitting up higher because, yeah, let me move me up a little bit. There we go. Hi. Now I'm crooked. Yay, me. These are the things you don't get to see when I'm making a video. Anyway, all I remember is the song Been So Long, Anita Baker. Bought this album because I'd heard this song. And by the way, my family suffered because I would be ironing my uniform or whatever I was doing in order to get ready for my day and singing out loud. And they had to hear it. Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. I didn't realize you lived in a rural area, but that means maybe stop by a farmer's market stand then. Cherry said probably Duran Duran, Hungry Like a Wolf. Loved it. It came out when I was in 5th or 6th grade, 6th grade, I think. But I did not buy it. My first purchase was Anita Baker, and it wasn't for me. It was for my dad. I bought him that album. My second album purchase was, well, no, it was two. No, it was one. I bought the Wham Make It Big album. I was a huge fan. I was also very unpopular with my friends because I immediately announced things that people didn't want to accept. Like so many of the girls in my class who just knew they were going to marry the guy who was George Michael. And I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. Not because I didn't think that these girls were gorgeous. They were. Not because I didn't think he was oh so gorgeous, because he was. But now that you know what I know, and I suspected then, you understand why I said what I said. But they just thought I was a hater. I didn't care. I bought that album. My father, because he knew that I had spent all of my holiday money to buy these two albums over the course of 2 weeks, turned around and ordered me a cassette of Culture Club, Colors by Numbers. And I cried because not only did he buy the cassette, but he took the time to write a letter to the fan club to get me a membership of the fan club. I got the letter, I got a t-shirt, and some other things. I'm telling you, I was on, it was way up there. You couldn't talk to me because I knew all the words. And I was that girl. Yes. So, yes. Yeah. And Jerry said, yes, absolutely. I liked Wham too. See? And even now I'm good and grown. My eldest will be 36 next month. But I promise you, we have rules like in my car, you have to listen to whatever I'm playing. I'm usually playing a book or something, and you just have to endure. You come in the middle of the story, don't ask me any questions. But when we get in her car, because she listens to avant-garde music that I don't always like. For example, I'm not a rap fan. I'm just going to say that. My kids love it. It's not my thing. That being said, she has a playlist set up so that when I get in the car, she can enjoy the music and I cannot like hit that button and turn it off. Invariably, she is going to have George Michael or Culture Club or something on deck. Boy George, give me what you got, but she's gonna give it all 80s music. And lately, I've been getting her to play more Genesis because Miami Vice. Need I say more? Miami Vice had the music. Like, I didn't mind the storylines. Yeah, they were okay. Little hokey, wasn't a fan of Don Johnson. That's just me. Everybody else was googly eyed over Philip Michael Thomas again. I wanted the music. And half the time I was rooting for the bad guys. Just saying. Everybody in my 8th grade year showed up. All the guys showed up in those shortcut jackets and the short like silk, not really silk, but the satinish suits and the skinny top. Pass. But they thought they looked amazing. That was just our era, and that was what they wore. And Cherry said, my kids both like country music, so I do 70s or 80s music. I love it. As a little kid, and by little kid, I mean 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even to 10, lived for this radio station called K Gold. K Gold played the 50s and 60s teeny bop music. So I knew all about Ricky Valens, and I was an avant-garde child. Let's just go there. I was avant-garde. I lived for the symphony. We had a radio station that supported our school system. So one of the rewards I often got by finishing the radio broadcast of our vocabulary activities and things like that was I could put on a set of headphones and listen to Symphony in St. Louis, which was a radio broadcast show. And oh man, I can almost cry right now because I loved that music so much. And I still do. Which might help you understand why I'm always going to have some music in the background. It eases my anxiety. It calms my spirit. And it centers me in a way that nothing ever does. Woo! Yes. Oh, and speaking of things that may go away, I told you earlier, much earlier, that I am reviewing the algorithm of the things that are working here on YesMichelle Crochets and things that are not. And I love making the Whip Wonderland videos. I'm going to leave the ones that already exist on the channel there. I may make one more, which is the compilation piece of all of the songs that I used Suno to create. I hope you enjoy it, but it will also be the swan song because those do not have the level of retention that I need for the engagement to maintain putting those on the channel without causing irreparable harm to my content. So I want to be transparent with you about that as well. That's one of the things I love about us having this Stitch Circle time. I can share things with you in real time as I remember that I need to translate that information to you without sounding like an ongoing infomercial. Because can I be truthful with you? Sometimes my updates feel like an infomercial. I don't mean, hey, Zach, I don't mean to sound like an infomercial, but I do know that not only is my team telling me, Michelle, you need to get this information out to your audience, because if you pivot, they're going to question what happened here. Jumping without explaining why you're jumping doesn't make sense to anyone. So this is the space, this is the perfect space for me to share that information with you. And I love, love, love. If you guys are seeing that I'm doing something that you want me to continue, by all means, share that with me. Let me know. And as you can, and as you do, because you do, if you want to support the channel and you understand my reason behind not having memberships, by all means, feel free to go over to the link and buy me a coffee. I appreciate you for it. Okay. Okay, I'll look forward to that, Zach. Um, and Zach, of course, is going to be emailing me. I love that. You guys always know that my email is either going to be in the description box below the live streams or right on the main frame of my channel. And you're welcome to drop me a message in my email if it's very personal. If it's directed to something we saw here in the live stream or on one of my videos, for engagement purposes, people, please just go ahead and leave the message below the video or below the live stream. I will read them. Anyone who's ever left me a message will tell you I have replied. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, and the most that I can do is like it or heart it, but I'm always going to read your messages. They mean everything to me. Zach, you are my other child, and I love you for it. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Okay. Somebody go find Sugar. Sugar, come up out of the penthouse because according to the schedule I'm seeing in front of me, it is 10:53. And that means I have about 7 minutes before we're going to close today. Mel said, I like all types of music except yodeling, please. Melissa, same. You know what? I can't say that. I have heard some yodeling that was actually pretty good. I know that's weird. Just saying. Weird. But loved it. It was good. And I think it was just the rhythmic patterning of it. I didn't understand anything that was said, but it was fun. And now this is how you know that I am not well balanced mentally sometimes. International rock music, most specifically Queensryche. If you don't know, look it up. It's good. And Zach said, I like all types of music except classical. Woo! I can't get into that. It's funny that you say that because that's what's playing right now. I am a classical girly. Love it. Love it. It's one of my go-tos. So, guys, like I said, we have about, we'll say we'll call it 8 minutes. We'll go over the 2 hour because YouTube's algorithm notification says don't just bump close to the 2 hour mark. If you're close to it, go over it. So, and I'm not a fan of rap music either. Now, I can respect the poetry. I don't necessarily like the battle raps and all that other stuff. It isn't my thing. I don't do well trying to memorize a whole bunch of stuff that makes negative, you know, experiences for me. Unfortunately, I've been exposed to some of the rap music that included using inappropriate names for people, and I couldn't get into that. I say that as someone who literally had to show ID to go home one day because a local rapper commandeered our street to film a video, and I couldn't get in my house because I could not come up the street. I had to park elsewhere and walk up in order to get into my home. And I had to keep my ID out all the way to my door. And my only expression of this was, "Are you kidding me?" But we survived. We survived. They're a very well known rapper now, and they have their own issues to deal with, and they're not my issues to deal with. Zach said, I listened to Amazing Grace by Reba McEntire the other day. She does an amazing job. Yes, she has a beautiful voice, and she's funny. She's super funny. And so is Dolly Parton, and I could go on. Don't get me started. I don't have time to be here talking for 20 more minutes down that rabbit hole. But I like all. I can honestly say I have an appreciation for most types of music. There's very little that I don't like, and I could probably find a song in any genre that I like, at least one. Like you mentioned, you're not a classical fan. It immediately made me think of opera. And my favorite operas are Carmen and Tosca. Yeah, I'm telling you, I love music, which is crazy. I can't play an instrument. You don't want to hear me sing. Um, but I can appreciate the things that I can't do. I'm not a painter, but I love creating art with fiber. To me, that's a different form of painting because if you put 12 single crochets next to 3 half doubles next to 30 doubles and then reverse it, you just created a landscape. Nana Michelle said, off to clean the house as it is Saturday. Crochet and combo cleaning. Well, remember what to toss and remember what to stitch. That's all I can say to that. Nana Michelle, thank you for being with us today. I sincerely appreciated having you here. I love you, darling. And if you can make it back tonight to unwind with us in the Yarn Bistro, well, it's a BYOB affair, but you are most certainly welcome. The person at the door will make sure you can cross over the velvet rope. And Zach said, I'll listen to opera. It's a choice. It's a choice, and it's not for everybody. I'm very clear about the fact that not everything I like is for everybody, but it is for me. And before I let you all scoot out the door, I want to let you know about a television show that has me hemmed up. It is on Amazon Prime, and it is called Ride or Die. Why am I hooked? Now, mind you, I can only watch one episode a day, and I can only watch it at night before I go to bed. Yay! Squeezies. But Ride or Die, oh, that's me and my best friend. That's me and my best friend. Because no matter how well you think you know someone, you don't know them. You know what you have known of them. But unless you've lived with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you've gone to work with them and all the things, there's always something new you're going to learn about even your best friend. Cherry said, I love classical, but can't do opera. Really? To me, that's just classical with words. But again, I see people's voices as instruments. So I guess that's why I can enjoy it. And where I can, especially if it's not in the language that I speak, I will get the translation because I love learning new languages. But don't ask me to join Duolingo or Rosetta Stone or the girl too old. I ain't doing it. Ain't doing it. But I'm just saying that's me, and that's the kind of person that I am. I love learning, and I'm a nerd, so I'm always looking for something new, different, or fun. It is what it is. Nana Michelle said, "We'll have to check that show out. Note to self before I go. You'll be on while I get started, or I never will." LOL. Go, go, go. That's fine. Cherry said, "I think because most of it's in Italian and I can't understand it. There are plenty of U.S. productions of international operas. Uh, I don't know if the St. Louis Symphony has a YouTube channel. This is how I've been exposed to a lot of operas that were Italian based but had English translations. So I would say YouTube it. English speaking operas and see what you find. And then, hey, report back and let me know because, yes, I love it. I love it. And just so you know, the movie Carmen with Dorothy Dandridge and I can see him. Oh, that's embarrassing. Harry Belafonte is actually an opera. So you know. And it is based on the opera Carmen. Although her movie was Carmen Jones. There you go. Okay, guys, it is 11:02 my time. I have had a blast with you all, but the girl has to move. The soup has to be made. The things have to be done. The room has to be adjusted. I need to scoot out that door so I can get back. I love you. I hope you have some fun today. Don't forget, I will be right back in this chair, right back in front of this screen at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I really would love to have you here with me then. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out the door. And if you can, go ahead and like tonight's live or at least hit the notification bell so that you're ready when I'm ready and we can reconvene then. Have your hook, have your ideas, and be prepared because we're going to be talking about a make-along project that I would love to have your input on. But until then, I'll see you later. Have some fun today. Bye-bye, everybody.